I've got this very small jar. You can see how big it is. This is my hand. So this is a live food culture. I love doing these little live food cultures. There's lots of reasons to have something like this. Like if you're breeding fish that need very small food, you can see one of the little bugs swimming around in there. But all of those little tiny dots that look like dust in the water, that is also little, they're not microscopic obviously because you could see them with the naked eye. Well, it's hard to see them with the naked eye, but you could see them. But yeah, like, it's pretty cool. See them swimming around in there. So these guys are great food for really small microfish, like your nanofish, not microfish. Like if you're breeding guppies, or not guppies, man, it's been a long day. If you're breeding betta fish or killifish, I would say any egg layers really, this would be very good food for you to have, because they you know, like the as soon as their yolk sac is gone, as soon as your baby fish yolk sac is gone, they're going to need some food that's going to be easy for them to eat. And this is food that you will find in your filters. So if you take your sponge filter or the floss in your filters, you know, like if you have like a canister filter that has like, you know, like filter media, like the I just got a text from one of my clients. I'm literally doing this video waiting for a client to log in, and he just said that he got stuck at work. So that's all right. I'll text him back in a second. But yeah, this is cool. You know, the nice thing about, like I was saying, like this is food for your baby fish that you already have. Get yourself a gallon jar. This isn't even a gallon. I'm actually going to go out to my fish room and grab one of my larger jars. And what I want to do is I'm going to do like a gallon jar, and once a week, just to keep this water nice and clean. I'm not going to put an air stone in here because these guys are so hard for them to swim. I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing, and I'm just going to take a cup of water out of this thing every week and just dump in my tanks where I'm breeding. I got some killifish that I'm working on out in the fish room. So I got 3 different types of killifish. And I got one clown keely over there. 1 pair in that little tank. Oh, yeah, guys. It's been busy. We just moved to this new house. Working on setting up my home office. And working on setting up the fish room as well. But this is cool. So I've been throwing in 1 little tiny pellet of food a week. And I mean, you know, like I don't know if they're eating the pellet of food or if they're eating the, you know, as the pellet rots, they're eating the bacteria that the pellet of food makes. But you can see little bitty water bugs tweaking out around in there. And I think I did see a snail. I saw a pond snail. If I can find that pond snail again. That's just a hair. There's a little hair on the side. It's like, is that a worm? Nope, it's not a worm. It's just a hair. This is a really cool little, this is a nice little sample here because I don't think there's any predators that will eat this Infusoria. Maybe, I'm trying to remember. There is one really small, not a scud, like a cyclopes, freshwater cyclopes. I think it's called cyclopedes. Okay, so if you look on the glass, you can see some little bitty bugs crawling around on the glass that are a little bit larger. Next to that plant, a little plant that's kind of curled up on the side towards the right. Underneath it, yeah. Those are really tiny, and cyclopedes are a little tiny bit bigger, and they will eat those little bugs. So it is kind of cool. I don't think there's any cyclopedes in here. I haven't seen any scuds. I gotta be super careful to not accidentally contaminate. That's the word I was looking for, contaminate. So I'll show you what I did to create this. So I took some of my floating plants, and I just got lucky. I took some of my floating plants that I already had in my tanks, threw it in this little jar of water. This is aquarium water from one of my tanks. And I took, see back there? I know this is going to be like, okay, so everything in this tank is super, super cheap, except for, yes, I had to use floating plants that I have. So this isn't like you can go in your kitchen and make it. This is something that you have to have. Now, some of the stuff you already have to have. So the floating plants, because they already had some of these little bugs living on them. And then that back there is Indian almond leaf. I can't remember the scientific name for it, but Indian almond leaf. I figured that would be nice bacteria also for these things to grow on or to live on. You don't want to put a whole Indian almond leaf in here because it would probably be a little too much for such a small amount. So I just broke off a little tiny piece about the size of a little bigger than my fingernail. You know, like you can kind of see. So aquarium water. Water from your filters, your sponge filter, or water from your filter media from your canister filter. You know, if you've got like filter floss, filter pads, take those filter pads, put them in a little bucket, and then swish it around, get all that nasty dirt off of the filter pad. You're kind of cleaning your filter pad, right? You're just cleaning it in a bucket with aquarium water. You don't want to get water from your sink. So you just get your aquarium water, put it in a little bucket, take your filter pad, put it in the bucket, swish it around till the filter pad looks clean. Let that water settle for a day, you know, because, you know, all of that water, all that gunk is going to come off of your filter pad, or it's going to come off of your sponge filter. So you're basically going to have a muddy mess in the bucket. That muddy mess is full of healthy bacteria and full of these little tiny bugs, right? So that's the way you want to get as many of these little bugs as you can, is, you know, using a filter pad, you know, a dirty filter pad or a sponge filter. And then you take a little bit of that water and you put in, like, you know, a gallon jar, and you just set somewhere and you just kind of keep an eye on it. And then you just take your pipette. You know, I'm going to start doing this once a week. I haven't done a whole lot with this thing. This thing's been going for about 2 weeks. Just throwing in little pieces of food. You know, little tiny pieces of food. You don't want too much because it will crash it. It will totally crash it. So little bit of food. You probably don't even need to put that much food in there because, like I said, the Indian almond leaf will break down and will create healthy bacteria for these guys to eat. You could just take water from your aquarium and throw in there. That'll also give these guys something to eat. But little tiny piece of food. Oh yeah, there's that snail. See him back there going down to the bottom in the very, very back. Yeah, anyways, yeah. It's a nice little culture. And I wasn't even counting on this one. I've got a bunch of cultures in my fish room, so this is just one I was trying out. But yeah, this is good. This is really good. Well, anyways, that's a good 10 minutes of me rambling. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is kind of like the easiest way to get fry food. You know, I mean, I also got vinegar eels that I also do. But, I mean, honestly, I don't know. Do you really need to do vinegar eels if you have this going? Vinegar eels are a guaranteed thing, though. Like, you always have vinegar eels if you have a culture of vinegar eels going. This you could crash. So, okay. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go to bed since I don't have to worry about that other client right now. Take care. Have a good night, guys.